got lines upon this face, stories time could not erase. Some I'm proud of, some I hide, some still ache a little inside. I walk through joy, I walk through pain, sunshine bright and cold hard rain. Made my plans and watched them fall, thought I knew it all. There were seasons I ran wild, seasons I was just a child. Times I prayed with folded hands, times I didn't understand. I said words I can't take back, took some roads off the track. Still somehow through right and wrong, I kept holding on. All my years, through the laughter and the tears, through the doubt and through the fear, yeah, you were here. All my years, even when my faith was thin, even deep down in my sin, yeah, you were here. Buried friends and held my wife through the fragile parts of life. Watched my babies turn to grown, felt the weight of getting old. There were nights I feared the end, wondered where this road would bend. But every time my strength wore thin, peace would settle in. All my years, when the picture wasn't clear, when my prayers felt lost in air, you were here. All my years, through the battles I fought within, through the mess I wandered in, you were here. I don't stand here claiming clean, I've been weak more than I've seen, but mercy don't scare easy, man, it stays till the end. All my years, from the first cry to right here, from my youth to silver hair, you were here. All my years, and when my final breath draws near, I won't walk that valley in fear, you'll be here. I've got lines upon this face, but I've seen amazing grace. All my years, you were here. Had my name on a storefront sign, 20 years on that dotted line. Coffee in a paper cup, shook hands, kept my head up. Then the market turned, the numbers fell, phones went quiet, couldn't sell. Auction day, that hammer sound echoed hard when it hit the ground. Boxed my desk in a cardboard crate, drove home slow, sat at the gate. Didn't wanna face that door, didn't feel like me no more. Man's pride runs deep and wide, hard to lose what you build with pride. I said, Lord, where you at? You see this mess, you see me flat. Didn't hear thunder, didn't see a sign, just a quiet strength that wasn't mine. He built me back, piece by piece, from the broken pride to a different beat. Took these hands that used to brag, put humility where I used to brag. What the world tore down so fast, he built me back. Started small, odd jobs here and there, learning how to kneel in prayer. Less about the name I made, more about the debts he paid. Found my worth ain't in a chair, behind some polished office glare. It's in waking up and knowing who walks beside me through and through. Losing everything I own, show me what I really own. He built me back, stronger bone, not the man I was, but one he's grown. Took my failure, took my past, made a future out of that. I thought I'd never rise from that crash, but he built me back. When my money was gone, he built me back. When my pride was wrong, he built me back. When my friends moved on, he built me back. When all I had was a broken song, he built me back. He built me back, not the same, different heart, different name. If you're standing in the wreckage of what you used to have, hold on, brother, what he rebuilds lasts. He built me back. I lost the business, but I found my soul, and that's a trade I'd make again. He built me back. He built me back. loud and stubborn, two hard heads in one small room. Screen door slamming every evening. Love felt more like a courtroom. Words like knives across the table. Pride too big to let it go. We both said things we can't forget, but didn't mean down deep, I know. There was a night I grabbed my jacket, keys shaking in my hand. She stood crying in the hallway. Neither one would bend. Could've walked, never turned. Could've let it all fall through. But something kept my feet right there. Something stronger than me and you. It wasn't perfect, it wasn't pretty, but mercy moved in that living room with us. He held this house together when we were tearing it apart. When the walls were cracking under, two unguarded hearts, through slammed doors and sleepless nights, through wrongs we tried to make right when we didn't know better. He held this house together. Years rolled on, the babies came. Bills and worries, joy and pain. Some days strong, some days thin, but we didn't quit again. Gray in her hair, slow in my stride, still sitting side by side. Looking back at what we survived, Lord knows we shouldn't be alive. Love alone wouldn't have made it. We needed something sacred. He held this house together through every heavy weather. When forgiveness felt too hard, when grace had to go farther, we learned how to kneel instead of shout. Learn what staying's all about, through forever and whatever. He held this house together. When I was wrong, he stayed. When she was hurt, he stayed. When pride got loud, he stayed and showed us a better way. He held this house together, and he's still holding now. Not because we got it right, but because we learned to bow. If you see us holding hands, just know it wasn't just romance. It was mercy strong as ever. He held this house together. "42 years, still here." He held this house together. violence in my chest, smiles waiting at the airport gate, but I never really left. Crowds and noise and Friday light, still hear echoes in the night. Some things a man can't unsee, they just don't let him be. Tried to drown it in a bottle, try to work it off my back. Tried pretending I was fine, like I didn't crack. Mama said, son, just pray. I said, God don't want this way. Figured heaven draws a line at a past like mine, but in the middle of a shaking hand, in the wreckage of who I am, you didn't turn away when I couldn't face the day, when the guilt was loud and strong, when I swore I'd gone too far wrong. I thought mercy had a limit, thought I crossed that line, but you didn't turn away from a heart like mine. Sat alone in the back row seat, didn't sing, just felt the beat. Preacher talked about prodigal sons, I wondered if I was one. Tears fell, I couldn't stop, like something finally broke the lock. Not proud of the man I've been, but I ain't hiding it again. If forgiveness is for the weak, then that's the kind I need. You didn't turn away, didn't flinch, didn't sway. Saw the worst I've ever done, and still called me son. So when I thought my story was through, when shame said I was used, you didn't turn away. You pulled me through the nightmares you stayed, through the anger you stayed, through the questions I threw your way. You stayed. I pushed, you stayed. I ran, you stayed. Coffee cup still on the shelf. Been 6 months now by myself. The side of the bed stays cold. Silence louder than it ought to be. Neighbors said time will heal, but time don't cook and time don't feel. I bow my head but I don't speak. Too tired to be strong, too weak to weep. I almost blamed you, I'll be honest. Almost said you took too much. Almost packed this Bible away, 'cause faith fell out of touch. Church bells rang, I stayed home. Didn't want to sit alone. Didn't want to hear he's good when nothing in my life felt good. But in that chair by the window light, in the middle of another long night, you sat with me. Didn't rush, didn't preach, didn't fix what I couldn't read. You sat with me in the quiet, in the ache, every breath my heart could barely take. When I had nothing left to give, you just sat with me. No lightning bolt, no big display, just peace that slowly made its way. Not the kind that shouts out loud, but the kind that sits when grief gets proud. I still miss her every day. Some mornings I still break, but I ain't drowning like before. Something's holding me at the shore. You didn't take the pain away, but you stayed. You sat with me through the tears nobody sees, through the nights I dropped to my knees. You sat with me when I had questions with no reply, when I just stared at the sky. I didn't have the strength to pray, but you sat with me anyway. And maybe that's the miracle. Not that you stopped the hurt, but that you stepped into it. Not that you changed the story, but you refused to leave the pain. You sat with me, closer than the air I breathe, held together what was left of me. You sat with me, and if that's all you ever do, just stay when I'm breaking through. That's enough for this old heart to see. You sat with me. She's home now, and I'm still here. And I ain't alone. You said Smoke hanging in the kitchen like a cloud I couldn't escape. I said I'm fine, don't worry. Told that lie so many times, but the man inside that mirror was fading line by line. Lost some friends I can't get back, broke some trust that won't come cheap. Mama's Bible on the dresser, covered up in dust and sleep. Every promise I made sober was gone by closing time. I was digging my own graveyard, one drink at a time. Then one night on that cold floor, I couldn't run no more. Shaking hands and blurry eyes, I cried my last disguise. He pulled me out, yeah, he pulled me out from the pit I dug so deep, from the chains that had me bound. I couldn't stand somehow when I didn't know. I didn't climb my way to him, he pulled me out. First few days felt like fire, body screaming for the old desire. But every time temptation called, I heard a stronger voice than all. It didn't shout, it didn't shove, just steady, stubborn love. Said, son, you ain't who you been, you don't live there again. He pulled me out, Lord, he pulled me out. Not because I cleaned up first, not because I figured it out. With mercy I don't deserve, with patience I can't count. I was sinking fast and hard, but he pulled me out. When the bottle called my name, he pulled me out. When I almost went back again, when shame tried to drag me down, he set my feet on solid ground. He pulled me out, yes, he pulled me out from the darkness I called home, from the wreckage all around. I ain't proud of where I've been, but I ain't going back again. My freedom didn't start with me, he pulled me out. 30 years I was a slave. One prayer, and everything changed. He pulled me out, he pulled me out, he pulled me out, he pulled me out. walked the road I chose myself. Put my Bible back up on the shelf. Sundays turned to working days. Slowly drifted miles away. Told my soul I'd be just fine. Didn't need no holy line. But late at night when lights went low, there was a truth I couldn't let go. I shook my fist at what went wrong. Said, if you're there, why's this so long? Close my ears, close my eyes, build my doubts up twice the size. Still somehow through all that mess, through my pride and stubbornness, every time I hit that dam, you never left. No, you never left. Tried to drown that quiet call with louder nights and crowded halls. Laughed too hard, stayed out too late, blamed it all on luck and fate. But mercy has a patient way of waiting through a man's delay. And right there in my worst defeat, I felt forgiveness at my feet. You never left. No, you never left. When I ran from what was true, you were closer than my breath. I was lost inside myself, buried under guilt and death. Let go, but you never left, yeah. Could've wrote me off for good, could've done what I thought you should, could've let me drift away till there was nothing left to say. But love don't walk out that door, not like I've seen before. You never left. No, you never left. When my faith was hanging thin, when my heart was out of breath, I don't stand here innocent. I stand here heaven sent. I strayed so far, but you never left. You never left. You never left. Now I bow my head at night, not because I got it right, but because I finally see you stayed through all of me. I walked away, but you never left. by my side, little hands, eyes open wide, sang them hymns in a wooden pew, believed every word was true. Now your room's just painted walls, no more late night hallway calls. You say you got your own road now, I just nod somehow. I've heard the tone inside your voice, like faith ain't really your first choice. You talk like you don't need a thing, like life don't answer to a king. I won't fight you, I won't force, love don't run that kind of course. But every night before I sleep, I still drop down on these knees. I'm still praying for you, even when you don't believe like you used to. When you say you're doing fine on your own, when you don't call home, I ain't preaching, I ain't pushing through. I'm just talking to the one who carried you, no matter where you run to. I'm still praying for you. I know this world can look so bright when you're young and chasing lights. I've walked that road, I know that bend. Some turns don't look like dead ends. There were nights I broke God's heart, thought I was clever, thought I was smart, and somebody must have prayed me through before I ever knew. So I trust the same mercy now, it's reaching where you are. Somehow I'm still praying for you, through every door you wander through. When the laughter fades at night, when you're searching for what's right, you may forget what you once knew, but heaven hasn't forgotten you. Until the day faith feels true, I'm still praying for you. Every mile between us, I'm praying. Every doubt you're living, I'm praying. Every tear you don't show, I'm praying. Every place you go, I'm praying. I'm still praying for you, not from fear, but love that's true. I trust the seeds we planted then ain't done growing yet, my friend. And if I don't live to see the proof, I still believe he's chasing you till my last breath passes through. I'll be praying for you. You're still my child, and you're still is too. And I'm still praying for you. I'm still praying for you. Used to carry a little weight around. Folks would nod when I walked by, look me straight there in the eye. But pride can turn a steady hand, make a fool of any man. One bad choice, then one more flame, ashes where I stood in shame. Whispers travel fast and low, truth gets bent wherever it goes. I stopped showing up on Sundays, didn't have much left to say. Sat alone in the back row once, felt like everybody knows. Head hung down, heart full of blame. He called my name, nah, he called my name. Not in anger, not in blame. He called my name when I thought I was too far gone, when I couldn't fix what I'd done. Through the guilt and through the shame, he called my name. Didn't come with excuses ready, didn't stand proud or steady, just a man with trembling hands, trying hard to understand why mercy walks where sinners fall, why love still answers when I call. I deserve the cold, the rain, but he called my name. Yes, he called my name, right there in my deepest stain. He called my name, didn't write me off the page, didn't close a book and read. Through the wreckage I became. He called my name. I heard it quiet in my soul, like distant church bells, soft and low. Not loud thunder, not bright flame, just mercy speaking my name. He called my name. He called my name when I had no one left to claim. He called my name. I'm still standing here today, not because I found my way, but grace refused to play the same. He called my name. He called my name. If you think you're too far down, if you lost your ground in town, there's a love that stays the same. He'll call your name. He called your name. Ooh. He called your name. Pray for change on a Monday night. Tuesday looked the same. Bills still stacked on the table. Nothing moving in my name. I said, Lord, are you listening? 'Cause I don't see no sign. Heaven felt so quiet in this worried heart of mine. I sang the songs on Sunday, shook every preacher's hand, said God is good with a smile, but I didn't understand why the door stayed closed, why the tears still came, why the fire I used to feel didn't burn the same. But just because I couldn't see it didn't mean you weren't there. Just because I couldn't feel it didn't mean you didn't care. You were working all along, even when I thought you were gone. Behind the silence, behind the wait, behind every not yet and too late, I was doubting, holding on. But you were working along. One day I look back over all the roads I walked through. Every closed door saved me from something I never knew. That job I didn't get, that move that fell apart, every broken season was shaping up my heart. Now I see what I couldn't have, now I know what I didn't know. You were building something better underneath the no. You were working all along, through the right and through the wrong, through the nights I lost my song, through the days that felt too long. I was weak, but you were strong. You were working all along. When I couldn't see your hand,
You were working.
when I couldn't understand,
You were working.
in the waiting, in the pain,
Nothing wasted.
nothing vain. I thought you left me on my own, but you were working on. You were working all along. Yes, you were working all along. Every tear and every fall, you were there through it all. Now my doubt has turned to song. You were working all along. I thought heaven was silent. Turns out it was just patient. You were working all along. Sunrise ain't as early now. Takes a minute just to stand. Coffee shakes a little in these weather working hands. Got more yesterdays than tomorrows. That's just how it goes. But I ain't counting losses. I'm counting what I know. I've buried friends I thought would stay. Held my babies on their first day. Made mistakes I can't undo. Watch the Lord bring me through. This life ain't been all easy, but it's been honest, it's been real. And through every turning valley, He's been closer than I feel. So when the evening shadows fall and I hear that quiet call, when my work is done and my race is run, when I lay these burdens down, I'm going home. Not because I earned my way, not because I got it right, but because He carried me through every fight. When my work is done, I'm going home. I ain't scared of crossing over. Ain't no fear in my chest. I've talked to Him too many years to doubt what comes next. If I close my eyes one night and don't wake the morning sun, that just means my wandering down here is done. I leave these boots by the bedside and stop into the light. When my work is done and my race is won, when this old heart finally slows, I'll go home. Through mercy, wide and storm, through love that's led me on, I'll trade this faithful side. When my work is done, tell my children, don't you cry. There's no goodbye, just see you by and by. Every prayer we pray down here ain't wasted. They disappear. When my work is done and my song is sung, if my last breath speaks His name, that's enough. I walked this road long and slow. a few doors in my time, crossed some holy lines, told myself I didn't care if you were even there. Took your name in empty way, turned my back for better days, ran as far as I could see, thought I'd finally broken free. But freedom felt a lot like change. Different town, same old pain. Every road I wandered down led me back to sacred ground. There were nights I felt that call, soft as rain against the wall. Didn't matter where I'd be, you kept coming after me. Yeah, you kept coming after me. Through the bars and through the doubt, through the lies I talked about, I ran hard, but I could see you kept coming after me. Not with thunder, not with shame, not with anger, not with blame, just a mercy strong and slow, wouldn't let my story go. Every time I hit the ground, every time I thought I'd drown, somehow love still carried me. You kept coming after me. Lord, you kept coming after me. When I swore I'd gone too far, when I wore my deepest scars, right there in my misery, you kept coming after me. I wasn't looking, I wasn't praying, I wasn't faithful, still you were staying. I wasn't worthy, I wasn't clean, but love kept walking right toward me. You kept coming after me. Yes, you kept coming after me. From my youth to silver hair, you were always right there. Now I stand here finally free. You kept coming, you kept coming, you kept coming after me. If you think you're too far gone, like you outrun heaven's song, take it from a man who tried. You can't outrun that kind of love. He'll keep coming after you. Kept coming after you. You kept coming after me. If you think you're too far gone, like you've outrun heaven's song, take it from a man who tried. You can't outrun that kind of love. He'll keep coming after you. You kept coming after me. Oh, yeah. They cleaned out my desk on a Friday noon. Cardboard box in an empty room. 40 years in a steel-toed pair. Now just silence in that chair. Drove back home in a quiet truck. Radio low, feeling stuck. Man gets older, world moves on. Hard to tell where you belong. Woke up Monday with nowhere to go. Sat on the porch, watched the wind blow. Hands that built and fixed and saved. Now just resting, feeling age. I told myself, you had your run. Maybe now your time is done. But a voice cut through that noise. You're still mine. Yeah, you're still mine. Yeah, you're still mine. When the world don't need your name, I still call you mine. Not by title, not by pay, not by what you gave away. Through every season, every line, you're still mine. I thought worth was what I made, measured in the checks I saved. Thought a man was what he earned. Now I see how much I learned. Grandkids laughing in the yard. Wife still holding my scarred heart. Maybe losing that old role saved something in my soul. You're still mine. Yes, you're still mine. When your strength ain't what it was, you're still mine. Not by youth or by claim, not by fortune, not by fame. Before you worked and after time, you're still mine. I ain't done till heaven said. I ain't through with borrowed breath. If these hands can fold in prayer, then I've still got purpose there. You're still mine. Oh, you're still mine. When the paychecks fade away, you're still mine. Through the aging, through decline, through the closing of that sign, before the grave and past the line, you're still mine. You're still mine. You're still mine. So I'll sit here on this porch tonight, not afraid of fading light. If I've got breath and borrowed time, I'm still yours. You're still mine. Doctor gave me news last spring. Didn't like the sound of it. Bill stacked high on the kitchen table. Didn't know how I'd handle it. Truck broke down, roof leak rain. Pressure coming hard and plain. Some nights I just sat there staring, too tired for praying. I won't lie, I felt that fear whispering loud in my ear. Said, this is where you finally fall. You ain't that strong at all, but I've been down that road before. Face on that cold floor, and every time I hit that ground, mercy came around. I'm still standing. Yeah, I'm still standing. Not because I never fell, but because heaven held my hand through the fire, through the strain, through the loss and through the pain. Devil thought he had the win, but I'm still standing. Hair turned gray, steps got slow. Got more past than road to go. But I've seen too much to doubt what faith is all about. It ain't loud, it ain't proud. It don't always draw a crowd. Sometimes it's just a quiet man, still doing what he can. Oh, I'm still standing. Lord, I'm still standing. Not by strength, that's mine alone, but by grace I don't command. When the storm tried to roll me thin, when the wave came crashing in, it should have been the end. But I'm still standing. When my body says give in, still standing. When my hope is wearing thin, still standing. When I don't know how I'll win, still standing. By His mercy, not my spin, I'm still standing. I'm still standing. Yes, I'm still standing. If you're breathing, there's a chance. He's still got a plan. Through the struggle, through the bend, through the breaking, He can mend. I've seen where my help begins, and I'm still standing. Not perfect, not proud, just grateful. I'm still standing. I pray for doors to open wide watched them close one by one. Asked you for a straight, clear road, got miles I didn't want. I thought silence meant goodbye, thought heaven had moved on, but I was wrong. There were years that felt like dust, plans that fell apart, friends who drifted out of reach, questions in my heart. I said, Lord, are you listening? Did I wait too long? But I was wrong. You were working all along, even when I thought you don't. In the quiet, in the slow, in the no I didn't know, to every right and every wrong, you were working all along. Looking back with older eyes, I can finally see what I called a broken road was shaping me. Every tear and every scar made my faith more strong. It took so long